So a lot of you probably have a few film stocks that you shoot regularly and you know exactly what you're going to get from them. This is really important in photography, as sometimes you want to be creating a consistent look or body of work. However, breaking out of that everyday film stock and style of shooting can really get you outside of your comfort zone, and you might be surprised to see how differently you shoot or what you come up with creatively. Today, I want to talk about experimental film stocks such as Lomography Purple, Metropolis, and how they can make you a better photographer and a more creative photographer. These experimental films give you a lot of room to express yourself and have fun. After all, I think the element of chance and not knowing what you're going to get back from your lab or what will come up on your negatives in developing is the beauty of film photography and what keeps us all coming back to this. So how can these experimental films make us better photographers? If you think about musicians who maybe use the same guitar, they might get stale and their sound might get old. So they might use something like a new guitar pedal or a guitar that gives a different sound, just to try it out to kind of break out of the normal. I think as photographers, we have tools like film stocks to help us to challenge our creativity and break out of what we normally do. If you're a person who's always shooting Portra 400 or Kodak Gold or even Fuji, all those things are going to sort of generally look quite the same, and we all know more or less what we're going to get from them, especially if we are seasoned photographers who really know the settings on our camera. I really urge everybody, even if you say you don't like them, to try these experimental films and really challenge yourself. See what you can come up with while you're out there shooting these, and then bring that into your everyday photography. So once again, I decided to turn to the film community and see what they thought. I put up a poll on my Instagram, experimental films, love it or hate it, and you can see the results here. Most people seem to like it, but there are a definite percentage of people who aren't that keen on experimental films. And I have heard this a lot in general discussions around these films, that people would rather shoot a roll of film where they know what they're going to get and they don't want to waste their money on these sort of wacky experimental films. Big shout out to PC. I'll pop his Instagram handle up. He sent me this roll of Metropolis 35mm, as he's definitely not a fan of this film and thought that I might be able to get some cool results. So thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. So let's take a look at my Metropolis shots, talk about what worked, what didn't, the creative process of sort of shooting this film, and hopefully we can start a great discussion in the comments about experimental films and how they can help us to be better photographers. Stick around to the end, as I will be sharing photos from the film community that people kindly sent to me on Instagram, so we can take a look at what everybody's shooting and how they're using these films. I decided to put this roll of Metropolis in my trusty Nikon L35 AF and shoot it at night because I just love that look with the flash, and I haven't seen Metropolis shot much at night. I pretty much shot this whole roll around the art center near my house, as there's a good mix of like greenery, concrete, and it's fairly well lit as well. I was trying to seek out some red colors because I have researched that this film is similar to Lomography Purple, where the reds will be the only color that don't shift. I didn't find many. I saw these cool traffic cones and I thought that they made a nice composition. And I also sneakily spotted this sort of red carpet situation. We didn't get any footage, but yeah, I popped up there and got a couple of shots of that, and I'm really loving the way the red and the concrete look together. I really vibed with this sort of concrete wall here with all the greenery around the top. It wasn't very well lit in this area, but the flash did help there, of course. And yeah, it's just got this really cool kind of like alien look to it, like kind of reminding me of Under the Skin. I'm not sure if anybody's seen that movie, but yeah, it just had these sort of like creepy, eerie kind of vibes. I kept walking through this section and I found more of this. I do really love the way that like greenery looks at night with the flash. It just looks kind of really strange and out of place, and I really enjoy that. I always seem to find some kind of like perfectly placed item on a photo walk, and I just love that. These chairs here were like all torn and like ratty, and they just came up so good on this Metropolis film. I feel like that really like suited the film, and I love this picture. It's definitely my favorite of the roll. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know that we always finish off our rolls with some portraits, just to get a really good idea of like what that film's gonna look like in many different sort of situations. So my partner took some photos of me. Some of them were good, some of them not so good, but I really liked this one of me standing in between like these sort of concrete like structures. My partner said that he thought that that would look really good on Metropolis, and yeah, it's definitely come out how he intended. And then the other ones look kind of cool. They have this like 90s sort of grungy kind of vibe to them. I'm really glad I wore my like Levi's shorts, because like the way like the denim has like rendered in the photo looks, yeah, really grungy and gritty and cool. There was this other building with some really cool lights that were kind of like coming on and then turning off. And yeah, we got some fun shots around there. Some of them are a little bit too dark and you can only really see the lights, and we weren't able to recover much in editing with this film. I rated it at 400, maybe I should have rated it at 200. Really been loving this location lately. My partner recently shot a roll of Ilford Delta 3200 of me, and yeah, all the steps on the stage just like give you so much to work with, and then at night you've got like all these like fun lights coming up. So yeah, I really loved this area for shooting. So I wasn't really sure what to expect with this roll of Metropolis, and with these experimental films, I'm always kind of just like, I'll just go for it and see what happens. Don't do too much research and just like hope for the best. So this whole shooting experience was really freeing for me, as I was just like actually having fun, just completely letting go and just trying out different things and being like, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I don't necessarily normally shoot like that. For example, I recently shot a roll of Ecta, which is one of my favorite films, and it's sort of like my go-to in my Nikon F60. And I was expecting really good results from that because that's a combo that I use a lot. And I was shooting in an area that I was really familiar with, shooting things that I know I'm good at photographing. And it's kind of funny because I got that roll back and I only really liked maybe 5 or 6 images, and I missed focus on some of them, which is quite unusual for me as well. And yeah, I think it just goes to show you that sometimes you have really high expectations of something that you are used to, and then you shoot something like Metropolis or Purple or Turquoise or all these great experimental films, and you can actually be really surprised when you get the results back. I think films like Lomochrome Purple and Metropolis really embody Lomography as a company. They're really innovative and really forward-thinking, and I'm just really attracted to them as a company. And I think that it's really great that they're making new films, as so many films are being discontinued or are in such short supply. So making use of what we have available to us with these experimental films is not only good for you as a photographer, but it's also great to be supporting a company that is supporting us as film photographers. So I have some photos and quotes from people in the film community that I would like to share with you. I think it's way more inclusive and way more fun if everybody can get involved in these episodes and it's not just the role that I've shot. So Patrick J. Clark, thank you so much. You sent through a great little quote. I've always desired film to be an active participant in the images I create. And I think that's such a great way of describing these experimental films. It's like they are really adding something to the shooting process, and they're kind of gonna like do what they do, and you can't control it as much as you would with a regular like color negative film stock. So the old camera guy, he has said, I'm a certified Lomochrome Purple fanboy. Here's a great shot he sent through with his Pentax 6.7 last year of the remnants of the Westinghouse appliance complex in Mansfield, Ohio. And he said he's excited to try out Turquoise, which is coming back, and I'm so excited about that. But I was interested to see these photos from Keegan Byrne. Shot Metropolis in a location that I suppose you would normally shoot Lomochrome Purple because it's very green. He really wanted to see how it rendered green. Every time I saw the film, it was mainly used in an urban kind of landscape. So wanted to see what it did in nature, and I think it looks really beautiful, like really nice. It's not something I would think to do with Metropolis. Got some great shots from Nicola, I think he's from Italy. Yeah, thank you for these. Shot on Lomochrome Purple. Really great portrait session that he's done, and that's not something that you see a lot of as well, as people are probably worried about how things are going to render skin tones. But yeah, I think that these look very, very cool. So thank you for those. Matt Benny, sorry, from Static Sequences. He has taken this awesome photo on Purple of a surfer like just catching a wave, and the water just looks so cool, and then the sky's got that like real blue to it that I have seen in other Purple photos. But yeah, again, just like a different way of shooting it, and I was really surprised at how diverse these photos were from this film stock. Anthony Rue, thank you so much for sending yours through. He sent some Metropolis shots taken on an Olympus Pen FT, which is a half frame camera. I am like dying to shoot half frame at the moment. And he's done it as a dipstick, I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, where you've got like the 2 photos on each side. And yeah, they look really cool. Again, he's sort of shot it in nature and water, which isn't what people normally do with Metropolis, and I think it's really effective. Kind of reminds me of like a Turner, like when you shooting a Turner on like this Fuji X-T4 that we're shooting on now, or like a bleached bypass kind of look as well with Metropolis, which I think is really cool. And he also sent through some purple shots, one of a red car, and I just love the way like red stays the same and really stands out because I'm a big fan of red in film photography. Got a classic flower shot on purple here from Abraham. Love that one, it's really beautiful. Jacob sent through this shot of a bike out the front of a shop here on Metropolis, and I think this is more typical of what we'd see from Metropolis, but yeah, it looks really cool. Another great Lomo purple one here from Jaden Guthrie. I love the way the house like has got that like pink purpley hue to it, and then like the sky just looks super awesome. Got some shots here from David in Melbourne. These are like little beach huts in Frankston, so we have these in Australia, and yeah, the stripes on the doors have like changed colors and shifted, and yeah, it just looks really awesome. Oh. So I want to talk about this photo. It was the winner of the purple grain competition run by Matt Murray of Matt Loves Cameras, who if you've been watching the channel you will know all about. This is a beautiful zine, and Clayton Sharp, he took this beautiful cover photo, which is just an amazing use of like Lomochrome purple. It's definitely my favorite purple image I've seen. I'm assuming that he had sort of had some intent behind this photo and sort of organized it and thought about it. But I am going to be inviting Clayton onto the podcast once I've got it up and running. I've got some interviews lined up with people and that will be coming out soon. But yeah, I'm definitely going to have him on and chat about this photo and sort of find out his process. And you can see more from the shoot on his Instagram, so I'll pop up his handle and you can have a little look. Jake sent through these two Metropolis shots. I'm really loving this second one here of the like reflection in the roof. It's really interesting, very effective. Got some more great purple shots here from Ryan. These are, yeah, very, very cool, making good use of like all the greenery climbing up this building here. Thank you for sending those through. Molly from the channel Eclectichrome has recently done a video on films to shoot at night. She shot a bunch of different films, so check that one out after this video. And yeah, she got some great shots of Metropolis at night, and someone on my Patreon page commented how they think that that film really suits like a nighttime shoot, and I would definitely agree. I think mine look really cool too. So yeah, maybe if you tried Metropolis out during the day, try it out at night. Anthony Edward took these awesome photos on Lomochrome purple of like some more greenery, but I really like the way that some of it stayed green and then some of it's this like really dark, deep purple. Shout out to Marcus Smith as well. He sent through a couple of photos and I'm really loving this one here. It's like a first of the roll. So you've got that like kind of like burn marks like through the middle there, and it's just cutting off his head. Looks super cool. Love this shot. He also has a YouTube channel that you can check out. It's called Latitude 35. Phil, he has sent over some Metropolis photos and they're looking really cool. I love like the selfie in the glass here, and yeah, he's really made use of that sort of urban like city sort of area, and I think Metropolis really shines in that. He's also made a point here that this sort of film looks really different depending on who scans it, and I have heard that about Lomo purple as well, so that's something to be mindful of too. Jamie Maldonado, he has a channel here on YouTube. If you haven't checked it out, please do. He has sent through these purple shots and they're really, really beautiful. Also some Metropolis as well in a sort of a different way. I love these ones, like the building behind, and then this lady's pregnant, and it's so nice to have like lots and lots of photos of you in that special time, especially on film. Jamie and I were chatting about these experimental films and how they can be used, and he made a great point. He said film can be nearly perfect, but its wildness is infinitely more accessible. That's where these films fit in, and I think that sums it up beautifully. So on that note, if you have any thoughts or opinions on these experimental films, if you've shot them before or you like them, don't like them, please drop a comment below and we can have a chat about it. I love to hear from you guys and what you think. So let's start a discussion. If you want a little bit more experimental film action, I do have a photo walk of me shooting some Lomochrome purple, and I hope that that inspires you. It's coming up now, so follow the link.